Hey, in today's Hostinger tutorial, I'll show you how to install WordPress, how to manage your account, and how to get full use of different free Hostinger tools. Let's learn how to create a website. So, timestamps are down below. Use them to jump to the place you need for this tutorial. For everyone else, use the Hostinger coupon code link below. There, grab the first shared web hosting plan, since it's the easiest and cheapest way to put your website online. Next, select the billing period. Monthly prices get lower the longer you subscribe to, but do as your budget allows. Create a basic Hostinger account, and once you pay, you'll receive a confirmation email. Go and click on the link it sends you. Great, we're now at Hostinger's main dashboard. It actually changed quite recently, and I like the simpler, cleaner approach. So if you see tutorials using this old look, you can stop watching them, they're not relevant anymore. Anyway, what we need to do now is set up a basic Hostinger WordPress website. So let's jump to initial onboarding. Or if you pass that stage, go to websites and click add website. You can go with a completely empty site. Make one with the intuitive Hostinger website builder, or simply install a fresh WordPress instance. First, let's look at how to install WordPress. In the initial setup, create your WordPress user. Hostinger should have filled most of this by default with your account information. You need to come up with a strong password, and don't worry if you're having trouble with it. Hostinger can quickly generate one for you. Now, a small tip. You can connect directly to your website's admin side through this hPanel, so you don't technically need to remember that password. Though for obvious security reasons, I highly recommend saving it somewhere. Like, I don't know, a good password manager? Alright, next you need to choose the website type. This step isn't that important, but it helps Hostinger better tailor the experience, whatever that actually means. Select your option. I'll go with an online shop. Based on this, I get a plethora of pre-made websites and WordPress themes to go with. If you want to change the website type, you can do it right here at the top. This will show other options for templates. Oh, and a cool new feature is the AI theme builder. It's not available yet, but by the time you watch this video, it might be a different case. I really like that Hostinger simplifies this entire process to basically one simple checklist. Okay, let's go with this pre-made template. I recommend going with themes only if you have at least a bit of experience customizing WordPress, or if you have a specific look in mind. Another step that Hostinger simplifies is plugin installation. During this step, you get a few recommended plugins based on the info you provided. The things your website needs will of course vary widely depending on what you're building, but there are a few you should have no matter what. First, leave Google Sitekit selected. This free plugin displays Google Analytics data straight in your dashboard. Now, the cool thing is that you can actually browse the entire WordPress repository here, finding any plugin you want. So type in Yoast SEO. This is a beginner-friendly search engine optimization tool that gives you an easy-to-follow checklist for project optimization. Third, even though Hostinger has a solid security suite, especially for an affordable shared hosting provider, I still suggest installing a security plugin like WordFence. It will allow you to limit login attempts, scan for any changes, and track who exactly is trying to attack your site. Now you can add way more plugins, but I do recommend using only what's really necessary. Plugins can cause slower leading speeds and can even have misconfigurations with one another. And here, once again, I have to give a plus to Hostinger's approach. If you accidentally select two plugins that do the same thing or can cause problems, well, here you go. It shows you immediately. Next, you're going to use a domain credit you got when purchasing a plan to get a domain name. You can also buy one. So type in your preferred name and Hostinger will show you whether it's available or not. If it is, just add it, and you'll need to fill in your real information to register this name. If the domain you want is already taken, Hostinger will display an alternative extension. Or if you type in the name without anything after it, it'll offer the cheapest option for it. This is cool since you don't need to sift through a list of hundreds of domain name suggestions to find that cheap one. But this also feels a bit limiting, displaying only a few options. If you feel the same, I advise just going to the Hostinger domain page in a separate tab and finding the domain this way. If you only need the cheapest, then this simple setup search will do just fine. A few tips about domain names. In most cases, the best choices are names ending with .com, .net, or .eu, depending on your audience location. Before you commit to the domain name, make sure you double check the price that's crossed out. It shows you how much this domain configuration will cost you when it's time to renew. So, just ensure that the price range fits your budget. If you don't want to get or buy a domain right now, you can simply host a website on the free Hostinger domain, like this one. Sure, it's not the most pretty URL I've seen, but this allows me to test out different projects without spending anything on a domain name. Once you have a domain name, if it's your first setup, choose the closest server to your location. Don't worry, you can change it anytime. What's left for you is to let the setup finish. And your new website should be online now. We can click on the link to visit it immediately. Nice. But that was a Hostinger guide for new WordPress. What do you do if you already have a website? Once again, Hostinger makes transferring it here easy. You can go to the old school regular way of uploading your databases and files to a new server. Or you can let Hostinger support agents move it for you. Yeah, you don't need to do anything or change anything. Just give your WordPress administrator details and wait a few hours or a day tops. It's not only really useful for beginners not to mess with databases or FTP servers, but it's also free. Yeah, providers like Bluehost actually ask you over $100 for WordPress transfer. But keep in mind that this is only available for WordPress websites. How to make a website if you don't want to use WordPress or any other content management system? Well, you get a free Hostinger website builder for this purpose, and you can use both Builder and WordPress interchangeably on one subscription. Hostinger Builder is an excellent tool for beginners, offering nice designs, easy drag and drop controls, and interesting AI implementations. Just note that it's a relatively new player in the markets. It still lacks a few things for more complex projects, so it's best suited for simpler websites. I left the link to my Hostinger Beginner's Guide for the Builder in the description, if you want to go that route. Alright, log into your WordPress website admin dashboard, and let's see how to use Hostinger tools. First, you'll notice the Hostinger plugin and a specific onboarding dashboard have appeared. This basic guide covers essential tasks for managing your site, such as uploading a logo, changing site titles, and adding new pages. The information is straightforward enough for any beginner, so I won't go into too much detail here. Just go through the list to ensure you've done everything. Just keep in mind that sometimes this onboarding might not work perfectly, since you can be using different themes or plugins that could mess with that. In that case, I recommend turning to the default template to test it out. On top or on the left menu, you can see there are more tabs. If you go to Learn, you can watch tutorials without leaving your WordPress dashboard, which is super convenient when just starting out. There's also an AI support chat integration. As all AI goes, it's not as useful as real support agents, but to be fair, it does work for basic questions about Hostinger or WordPress. In the Tool tab, you can see your site's information, activate maintenance mode, or create redirects. For beginners, the only thing here to mess with is the maintenance mode. If you're editing your site and don't want anyone to stumble upon it, with this, they'll see only the coming soon page. Oh, the more expensive plans also include an AI content creator. It works quite well, forming full posts or pages with titles, images, and even SEO optimization. You just need to click Publish. Highly valuable to certain website types that need constant content creation. That's a tongue twister. But there is one more plugin that Hostinger always installs. It's LiteSpeed Cache. This is necessary since Hostinger servers are LiteSpeed optimized, meaning better performance and more importantly, more control for you. First, we can go to presets and apply the advanced one that's recommended. You can try the more extreme optimization if your site is still slower than you would like, though I would recommend this to a bit more advanced users. What I like the most is the free image optimization. You need to first go through a quick setup to get a domain key like this and add it to the settings menu. After you do this, you can start sending batches of images to get reduced in size in a few minutes. Remember, slow websites are mostly due to unnecessarily large images. In this Hostinger tutorial, I also want to cover specialized WordPress tools. To do so, let's return to hPanel and then Overview. Here, you can view information on PHP or WordPress versions. Scrolling down, you can install Hostinger's recommended plugins or set up a new WordPress instance. There's also a caching system with a button to flush the cache and load a fresh version of your site. Additionally, there's an integrated Google Insights page speed test, which you can run as many times as you want for both mobile and desktop versions. I recommend running it at least once to see how well everything works. Staging is a premium feature available only on the higher tiers. This feature allows you to create a copy of your website that you can modify without affecting the original site. Once you've made your changes, you can merge the two versions or replace one with the other. It's an incredibly useful tool for those running an already successful site that can't be taken down even for a few hours. If you're just building a simple blog, those 4 visitors won't mind seeing the coming soon page for a bit. So I don't think it's the reason to upgrade your plans. Next up is your security tab. Here you can deactivate, update, or delete plugins and themes without logging into the WordPress admin dashboard. You also have the option to let Hostinger handle these updates automatically. If you're not managing a complex project, I recommend enabling this feature. The Though keep in mind that smart auto updates will only be available with more expensive plans. You still get regular auto updates with all subscriptions, but smart ones have enhanced security scans and have done backups of your projects before. Good thing to have, but not the most necessary reason to upgrade, especially hosting simple projects. The manual way of updating or at least info gathering is still useful. If you're a beginner willing to learn, this is a goldmine. First, you're always notified by email and in the panel when you have outdated plugins or some vulnerability is discovered. Yeah, Hostinger basically scans the web for info and proactively tries to warn you, their users, of any security concerns. Those include detailed data on the problem. You can then read up online about what's what and learn from it. Additionally, Hostinger has recently introduced an AI troubleshooter that can check for all sorts of issues on your website, as well as AI support. This basic chatbot can answer questions about your hosting plans or WordPress and direct you to the appropriate resources. As an AI, it works okay for answering simple questions, but don't expect a lot from it yet. If it fails, it'll simply connect you to a real support agent. With all these things, you can basically manage WordPress like a pro without needing any real technical knowledge. Thanks for watching my Hostinger guide for beginners. If you still have questions, feel free to leave them. We're gonna try to help as many of you as we can. Of course, you can find more tutorials or other content by subscribing and liking the video, which always brings you good karma. All right, that's all for today. Let's meet again, same cyber time, same cyber channel. See ya.